good voice projection.
So each wolf has its different howl?
It does. Hopefully you notice there's a slightly higher pitch to this howl. They're the ones also you heard in the background that had the nice vibrato or the shakiness to their voices, kind of sound like they're laughing sometimes. No coyotes yet today. All we've heard so far are wolves. That nice low guttural moan, that's the classic gray wolf howl. This is a red wolf, everybody. This is the other species of wolf in the U.S. There's only one type of red wolf that exists today. There used to be a couple other subspecies that are now extinct. This is the wolf of the southeast. So all along the southern quarter of this country, Georgia, Alabama, Texas, Florida, even as far north as the Carolinas, is where this wolf used to range naturally. But this is another critically endangered species. Their population was down to 22 when they were listed, and of those, only a dozen were genetically viable for breeding.
What do you mean genetical viable?
Oh, young enough and good enough genetics. Now the problem with starting with a small number of animals to create a big number of animals, that's a lot of inbreeding. You know,
and that's very bad because it brings down their immune, not necessarily their immune system, but it makes them more susceptible.
Yeah, it weakens their species. You're right. But so, good boy. No scent marking right now. Went up to the tree, lifted his leg and peed. Raised leg urination. Is that a sign of a male?
Yeah.
Yep.
That's a sign of a leader. So in this pen, both would lift their leg to pee. Both the leader, male and female, raise their leg as a sign of their dominance. If there are any other wolves in this pack, they would have to squat when they pee, out of respect.
What happens if they don't?
Then the leader would have to do something about it. And it's usually not anything super dramatic, but yeah, they'd have to do something. So, today, similarly to the Mexican Greys, around 300 reds. They do live in the wild, but only in one place now. So they once lived in a quarter of the country, now they only live on an island, out in the middle of the ocean. Oh, they wish. It's off the coast of North Carolina. What's the benefit of island life? You're protected, right? You're surrounded by an ocean, so you can be isolated from things. The downside of being on an island, you're isolated. Your food is limited. Your space is limited. But coyotes pose such a threat to this species that they have to be isolated. Coyotes have taken over the United States, and a country that was once run by wolves is now run by coyotes. And the red wolves and coyotes were never supposed to live together out in the wild. It wasn't until the gray wolves were removed from the central U.S. that the coyotes moved in. Why are they an issue to the red wolves? Two things. They would both be eating the same food, sleeping in the same spaces. Can they compete with a coyote? One-on-one? Absolutely.
Probably.
Is it one-on-one, though? 120 red wolves exist in the wild. How many coyotes? Millions. There's 80,000 in Minnesota. So if you do the math, that's a lot of coyotes. But biggest threat to this species, they interbreed with the coyotes. And if that's allowed to happen, this species will be wiped out forever. So right now, the only population that's survived in the wild is on that island. So, male-female in here. This is supposed to be a love match. That's why the girl was brought here. This is the girl right here. Problem is she doesn't like the boy.
Oh.
Right? How were they matched up in the first place? Genetics. Scientists looked at their DNA and said, ooh, they'll make healthy babies. Well, that's not the way it works in the wild.
No.
So she does not want him at all. He likes her. He has tried a couple of times. She has refused him. They've been given a couple of years to hopefully change her mind. It's not looking promising, which is unfortunate because some of her babies would actually go back into the wild. be reintroduced onto that island.
But couldn't you do artificial insemination if you really wanted babies from the male?
You're right. But the good thing about red wolves in other places across the U.S. like this, they are breeding successfully. It's just our girls that seem to want to have nothing to do with boys. But we could step in and do artificial insemination. But it's still best for the wolves if they do it naturally. So I have a feeling if it doesn't happen this winter, she'll be moved on and try with a different guy.
I still have a question about wolves. You know, will the other female wolves in the pack, even though that's not the alpha female, will they still go and heat, but will not breed? But can they still go and heat, or no?
Yes, they're not supposed to. And you want to talk about the most disrespectful thing ever for an alpha female, to have another female in her pack become pregnant? I mean, that's the worst thing that could happen. And that little girl right up next door was the result of that in a pack we have here. A lower-ranked female was impregnated by the alpha male. Now, that sets up a really bad social situation in the pack. So bad that the alpha female could kill the mother, could kill the puppies, or she could choose to just take over control and raise those puppies as her own. So what we did is we took the puppy out so that that social situation was erased. So it's not a normal thing you'd see very often in the wild. In captivity it's different because our packs stay together longer here. Good question. All right, I have to tell you one more pack real quickly. Then you're going inside. You can wear
Oh, there's a lot of them.
Oops, sorry.
And these, I presume, are the native wolves here. They are the...
Hey guys, this is probably the most important wolf for you to see today, because it's the wolf you're probably most likely to impact in your lifetime. Because this is the wolf from Minnesota, Michigan, Wisconsin, just north into Canada. It's a medium-sized gray, and as of 3 years ago now, they were renamed the Great Plains Wolf. Currently, like I said already, about 2,500 of them live up north. Very healthy population, so healthy that they're no longer considered an endangered species. They've been delisted. There are 4 wolves in this pack, all males. How many leaders? Just one. It's the guy standing up top. His name is George. George became the leader of the pack 4 years ago, after the dad was kicked out of the pack. Why was Dad kicked out? Wolves. Not strong enough. Dad was 11. So what we did is we stepped in, we moved Dad out. He got to live with a girl, retire in peace, but left his sons behind. And the reign of leader fell to George, which is interesting because he's the smallest wolf in there. So size doesn't determine rank necessarily, and George hasn't had a completely easy go of it. He's been challenged twice in his reign as leader by the same wolf. Can you tell which wolf it is? Why?
Because I was standing up on the thing.
Because he was next to him?
And she was like on top of everyone, kind of.
Look at him physically. There's something about him that tells you he's the one.
He's bigger. His tail.
Look at his stubby ears.
Right, which one? The white one. The one up
He lost the tips of his ears.
Challenge
George bit off the tip of his right ear.
Oh my
We
God.
took that wolf out. We gave him medical attention. Put him back in, and George said, "Sure, come on back, brother. You can come back into the pack." Everything was fine. 2 years later, same situation. George bit off the tip of the other ear. Pull him out, clean him up, put him back in. I certainly hope that that wolf is now done challenging, because I don't know what George will bite off next. There are some wolves that are just driven to want to be leaders of the pack. There are others that are just fine being the submissive follower. One of my favorite wolves here was actually their uncle, and he used to live in this pack, and he outweighed every male in that pack, but he had no desire whatsoever to become the leader. He was just totally laid back and just kind of did his own thing. There he is.
Oh, it's so cute.
Your head hung low.
He's adorable.
Well, sorry if I'm in your...
Oh, no, you're fine.
Sorry, I
So
keep
how long
bumping
will they
into you.
stay together? Well, until they
Are you
decide
okay
they don't
with
want to be
that? Okay.
together anymore. If a fight escalates to something very dangerous, we will separate wolves.
How do you separate them without getting hurt?
We don't want them to get hurt.
Tranquilize.
One more quick look, because it is the biggest pack here. It's a different perspective. We're just going to stop for a minute and we'll go inside. Our largest pack here is comprised of 11 wolves. Experimental pack. And it failed miserably. There used to be 16 wolves in here. 8 guys, 8 girls. The girls don't get along. 5 girls were permanently kicked out of this pack in very serious, unfair fights. And I certainly hope the 3 girls that are left in here are happy with one another, because every time a wolf gets kicked out of the pack, it's got to be moved in somewhere else. And that space becomes an issue here.
Why is that one limping?
Western tundra gray again here. I don't know what they're picking up on. Alpha female right here in the front. Wait, what? She's a big girl. She's about 120 pounds. Alpha male is not over here right now. Because this pack is so big, they have 2 enclosures. So off to their left, there's another enclosure, our left, I should say, that they have access to through an alleyway. All right, you guys, go inside. Yep, just give me a second.